KTBS 3 News continues.
The Chinese have been interested in Louisiana for years now. In fact, it was the state's top foreign trade partner in 2012. Nearly $2 billion were spent during the first quarter, according to the World Trade Center, New Orleans. So far, Chinese investment has been focused on the southern portion of the state, but North Louisiana is now in their sights. They've made job-making investments and plan for even more. KTBS 3's Craig Sims has more in this Arklatex in-depth report.
China's political system is communist-based, but a more capitalist economic system has been embraced. North Louisiana may benefit from that shift. The country that is called the world's factory has one of the fastest growing economies on the planet, even though it's slowed in recent times.
It's growing. I mean, it's been growing in leaps and bounds, much higher than any other economy in the world. In double digits, growth rate is unheard of most other places.
China's people are culturally good savers, and the number of rich and middle class is increasing. Economics professor Elizabeth Rankin says their government has warmed up to capitalism even more and is relaxing its hold on the booming economy.
They have greatly opened up their economy from where it was 20 years ago.
This may be a move to keep the economy healthy, but has allowed China's wealthy investors to easily invest their money overseas. Louisiana has caught their eyes.
They are purely private investors. They are looking for a market where they can make more profit for return.
Baton Rouge businessman Eugene G heads the G2 Club, which helps attract nearly all of Louisiana's Chinese interests. He worked with Representative Patrick Williams to bring a group of investors with the Private Investment Association of China to Shreveport.
That organization is mostly privately owned, and those investors, some of them is worth $1 billion, some of them is worth $10 billion.
G says they've made investments in local golf courses as a possible way to make the area more appealing to other investors. He says they've also invested in a local natural gas company. It's that natural resource, as well as agricultural potential, that makes North Louisiana so attractive to them.
They need food, they need rice, they need milk. It's a need. We have a surplus of that. It's all about supply and demand. That's what it's about.
Representative Williams says the Chinese investors will not only supplement existing businesses, but help create and grow new industries in the state.
And they want to create an energy distribution, if you will. They want to create agriculture, exchange, food preparation, food products. They want to create companies that would highlight the industrial uses of natural gas, fertilizers, antifreeze, plastic, pharmaceuticals, fabrics.
For example, the state's dairy production, which is basically non-existent. G says there's interest to grow it in order to attract a processing plant. They
would be interested in investing in a milk powder plant and buy all the fresh milk we can supply. And 99% of that will be exported.
It seems Chinese investors want to get involved in many areas of Louisiana's economy, and there is concern their government, which still has an influence on its economy, would then have an influence on ours. Rankin says you shouldn't worry about their investors.
I don't see it as a problem because I don't really see it as government influence here in the United States. All right, it may be government influence on what they do with their profits, but how they operate here is really under our government's influence more so than their own government influence. So I don't think that that's a problem in terms of political play.
G says more Chinese investors could visit later this summer. Craig Sims, KTBS 3 News.
Now, G says Louisiana's potential natural resources and location on the Gulf of Mexico make it stand out among states competing for Chinese investors. Intellectual property rights are still largely ignored by the Chinese, according to Forbes magazine. Piracy of games, clothing, computers, you name it, still a major business in China, and may remain so because those items are cheaper. In fact, knockoffs and those who create them are celebrated. The Forbes article claims individual property rights in China aren't as protected as in the West. Individuals still cannot even own land.